Hello, my friends. Welcome. This is episode number 49. Can you believe it? And another thing you might not be able to believe, recently I was at a networking event in real life, which will sound funny in a few years. But I was speaking with someone who was talking about the days that they have trouble getting going and they're stuck in their stuff. So let's talk about that. What do you do when you're stuck in your stuff? Let me know how you enjoy the episode. And if you are stuck, give me a call. Let's talk about what to do. Have a great day, my friend. Hi, my friends. Welcome. This is the Back to Me podcast, and this is Heather, and I am super excited that you're here. You are going to hear some tips and some tricks and some ideas to help you live your happiest and healthiest self. I call it Back to Me because when you are taking care of yourself, back to me, then you can take better care of others, and we can all make the world a better place. This is Wellness Your Way, and I am super happy that you're here. Hello, welcome back. It's been a whole week. Well, not quite a week, I guess. It's been a week since I've been here by myself, solo. So, welcome back. It's Heather, and I am super excited to see you. And I have to tell you, last week I went to a networking event in real life. Mind blown. I know. It's so funny to talk about it now like it's a big thing because it kind of is. Like after 2 years, it's like we've been in hibernation, we're reemerging. I imagine sometimes because I've watched a lot of science fiction of, you've been in what's that called? Like hyper chamber isolation, it's not hyperbolic. You know what I mean? You've been in that chamber floating across the galaxy for 100 years and you come out and it's just like, whoa, everything is so different. I know it's only been 2 years, but I digress. I was at a networking event and I was having a conversation with this individual and it went into we were, at most networking events, hi, my name, what's your name? What do you do? And somehow we got into a conversation about this person's what they did, but also, as many entrepreneurs do, what stopped this person from being more successful. And the way he described it, I won't use the word he used, but he said, there's days that he wakes up and he's stuck in his stuff. He's stuck in his stuff. And he said, if once that starts and the stories start about why, and you start making excuses and telling yourself these stories about the past or the future or the what if happened or what if and when that happened, and you get stuck in this stuff, that they end up canceling their whole day and not doing anything. And if that continues, like if you stay in that funk, that can continue outwards and outwards, and you wouldn't be in business for very long. Or if you have a job, you would have difficulty holding down a job. Um, and it's not because you dislike what you do or you dislike your job. This person quite enjoys their work and enjoys what they do and enjoys their clients. But there's just something sometimes that will trigger something, and then perhaps old patterns or old fears come in and start getting in your way. So you get stuck in your stuff. And I call this a little bit of getting in your own way. I know a client or a coach who calls it, being stuck in the mud puddle. But we all have a history. We all have experiences that have influenced how we think about the world, or our expectations of what's going to happen in the world. And I mean, I do understand it. I do understand it. But if you want something for yourself, or even if it's not as small as for for yourself isn't small, by the way. I do not mean that at all, because as you know, back to me, the whole thing is filling your cup, filling yourself up to the top first so that you can go out and help others. But in the helping of others, there's lots of experiences that we've had. And if there's something that you want to achieve, and this relates a little bit to last week's, playing it small, avoiding failure versus trying to achieve success. If we keep tripping ourselves up because we're afraid of success in some subconscious level, or maybe we're on the wrong path, so we keep tripping ourselves up, that's another thing. There's a book called The Big Leap. Yes, that's what it's called, by a gentleman named Gay Hendricks. And it was very, very interesting. And I've observed it in myself for sure. And he called it an upper limit problem. And he gave really good examples of where it happens, where we have this set point in ourselves where we think we need to be. It's like the the thermostat on your home. Uh, a couple degrees too warm. Oh, we've got to adjust something, open a window. A couple of degrees too cold. Oh no, we've got to turn the heat up. We have this set point we like to be in. So we also seem, in many ways, to have a set point of where we think we deserve our happiness level or our success level. And if we're doing a little bit too good, we will do something either to sabotage our success or to sabotage some other area of our life, because we feel like, oh, I don't deserve all of this wonderfulness. Oh, it's too good. It's too good. So, and I think that's often where when you get, not always, but when you get stuck in your stuff, that's a little bit of a self sabotage um, way of being, right? It's a way of stopping yourself. Maybe you were like, if you had made that next phone call, you would have gotten this big contract. Or if you had gone and seen that client or talked to that client, they would have referred you to something else. Like, think of when you don't know the potential of what's going to come down the road. So if you get stuck in your stuff, you don't take any actions because you're like, oh, I don't feel like it. I'm too tired. I stayed up an extra hour last night. I ate too many Cheetos. I binge watched, um, what's that show everybody's talking about right now? Stranger Things. I haven't watched it. Yes, I'm one of the few people on the planet who have not watched Stranger Things, but I have also not seen Avatar or the Titanic. Don't judge me. Um, but if you find that and the part of it is you got to be able to recognize when you're doing it, when you're making those excuses for yourself, when you aren't, maybe you're just avoiding. What can you do to recognize that you're doing it and to stop it? So one of the techniques really as a pattern interrupt is just to recognize and just say to yourself, stop it. This is what I want to happen, and this is what I'm going to do. That's the easiest way for you to do it in many ways. It's just a pattern interrupt. So I know a coach who actually just says, I think her name is Stephanie. Stephanie, stop it. She says it out loud because that helps her actually stop. Because when you hear yourself say stop it, you're like, what? And redirect your attention. I stop, just stop the cycling, stop the swirling, stop the stories, stop. This is what I'm going to start to work on right now. And that is actually the quickest and easiest way to get out of your stuff and to get on with what you do want to get on with. Because I believe we all want something. We all want some sort of success. We all want something better. Sometimes we don't think we deserve something better. Sometimes we don't think something better is possible, but we all deserve something better. Having more doesn't take it away from everyone else, right? So if you are stalling towards your goals, then start paying attention to where it is that you're stalling. Start paying attention to where you're stopping yourself. Is it an excuse you're making? Are you just kind of tripping yourself up? And when you see that behavior, just tell yourself to stop and then turn to the first thing you need to do to move to that goal. Even if it's small, even if it's just one phone call, just say stop it and then pick up the phone and do that, right? Also, another tactic is when you say stop it, if it's a phone call, for instance, you say stop it. I got this from another coach. Stop it. You pick up the phone to start dialing and you distract yourself, like look out the window and look at the birds or something. Because then the phone's already dialed. You're like, oh, I guess I'm having my phone call now. It works. I tried it for sure. 100%. So if you don't know what your goals are, oh my gosh, don't coast through life. There's only so many days in a life. And when we come to the realization of how many days there are, like if you say, how many summers do you have left on average? Or how many winters do you have left? How many vacations do you have left? If you do that calculation, sometimes it's a bit sobering. So I believe that free time and doing nothing is not a waste of time, but I do that purposefully. If I'm just spinning my wheels at a time where I intend to be creating my goals and taking action towards them, I find that wasteful. So it's like, if I have said, this is a time I'm going to spend on this so that I can be successful, and I don't use that time, that's a waste of time. Relaxing, sitting under a tree, that's not a waste of time. That's recharging your batteries. So, try it. A yoga teacher I know calls it hammock therapy. So if you don't have a goal, really, time is passing. If you don't know what your purpose is, start to think about it. What legacy do you want to leave? Maybe it doesn't have to be a huge legacy, but what impact do you want to leave on the world? What do you want to make a difference with? Doesn't have to be massive, doesn't have to be epic, doesn't have to be, viral worthy. Could be just, something small. And that's fine, because it will make a difference. It will ripple outwards. But if you don't know what it is yet, start thinking about it. If you need help, pardon me, sorry. If you need assistance, then send me a message and let's have a conversation about it. Because I am really good at coming up with ideas, and I just give them away to people. But they have to be yours. If they come to me and I give them to you, it has to fit you. You can't just take it because it sounds like a good idea. It has to fit you. And if you do have a goal and you keep getting yourself stuck and you've tried some tactics and some techniques, but you're not really sure other ways to change, send me a message. Let's have a conversation about that too. I'd be happy to help. That's the thoughts for this week, my friend. I hope you have a great, great rest of your week. I hope that you take some downtime to relax and recharge your batteries. I hope that you keep your upward spiral towards whatever it is that you are meant to have and do in this life. Take care, my friend. I will see you soon. Hi, my friend. Thanks so much for listening to this entire podcast. If you found it useful and you're like me and you like helping others, please feel free to share this. Give it a like, give it a comment. If you found something useful in it, there's a chance that someone else will find something useful as well. Also, if you have any questions at all, I can absolutely help, and I would love to help. You can email me at heather@prosperityflowcoaching.com. If you want more of this awesome content, you can follow me on Instagram, Heather Stewart Coaching. You can follow me on Facebook, Prosperity Flow Coaching. And I have a personal request. I want to help as many people as I can with these podcasts. And if you could give me a review, hopefully a good one, if you could share, if you could send this out into the world, I would truly appreciate it. I hope you have an amazing day, and I hope that you find your way to wellness by getting back to me. Take care, my friend.